in that video, freaking. Don't worry about it, because I'm here. I thought the camera was over there. I'm used to the camera being here. I think that's a good intro. Monday AM. This is where we are. Last time we left off, we were like here. I didn't even do that. The point of this video was started with acid. So I did acid. It's pretty cool. That's not what you're supposed to say. It was a good experience. I've come to realize what psychedelics are, and the reason that I enjoy them is because it puts your demons out there, and it puts them in a perspective that you don't really see normally. And I think that's why I keep coming back. And no, I'm not going to do meth. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. It's not the gateway thing. That's basically where I wanted it to be, drug use wise. I stopped smoking. I'm pretty clean now, so I'm going to apply for a couple jobs now. So that'll be fun. This is my no bullshit meter when I say these. And then it kicked in about an hour and 45 minutes later, and it was just crazy. So I was playing in a tournament. It was so strange. It felt like time was slowing down, kind of like melty. It was more melty than shrooms was. I had a really good time. I closed my eyes. I visualized a lot of things, and this tree kept coming up for some reason. This was the analogy that I came up with. It was this tree, and this tree was a representation of someone I cared about and myself. So basically picture like a big oak tree, and then in the center there was like a hole, and it was like this is how I described it. There's two souls melding, and she called me out on bullshit, but that's how I felt. I felt like that's what I pictured. I pictured that being what I wanted to happen. I wanted the concept of love like that, like two souls melding together, becoming one, because that's how infatuated I was. I'm saying that like I mean it. I can't control the way that I feel, and I can't control the things that I want to say when I'm under the influence of psychedelics, because I have so much to say, which is why I'm making these damn videos. In reality, there's a lot of emotions that you put away, and they kind of just come out like badly. I've said that time and time again. Like I said, demons come out, and demons are bad, but they also show you a lot of things, and that's how they kind of get put into perspective. Vibrations were very apparent during that time. Lights, like the screen, and vibrations from the songs. I was listening to songs, and I realized why you get captivated by things when you're under the influence so much, because the vibrations you get on the same wavelength as them. So like the time I went to the concert, I was just feeling it. The music was fueling me, and it was so cool. Like, it was just surreal. I just felt like the music took control of me, and I just kept going and danced, and it was cool. It was a really good experience. And so that's what happened with the music. I grabbed my bass, and I started like playing it, and I started humming to the same vibration pattern. So I would be like, So I was definitely really high, but it had a sense of truth in it. So that was basically the vibrations and the energies and everything that I believe in kind of makes sense. Again, I keep getting reminded that this kind of makes sense. It's not something that I came up with and it was like, oh, dude, this is fucking great. No, this is like actually like something that I kind of want to push forward, energies, good energies, the way that the world is connected, and how all of us are connected, and each of our actions and thoughts affect the future, not destiny or shit like that, but you definitely have a role, and things don't happen randomly. Like, they happen for a reason. You just don't know it yet. Okay, so essentially self-realization came from that, and rejection. So I got rejected. I'm really used to failure, but even though you're used to something, it doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt. I came out of this with a new mentality, and the mentality was, I'm pretty sure that's what she was going for, because she said it, but this is my time to truly embrace who I am and truly learn what I want, even though I know what I want, but to actually mean it and live it, which is the problem that I've been running into recently with my life and the decisions that I've been making. So it's good. It's kind of a thing that I've been speaking about with other people. It's you have to invest in yourself. You spend so much time trying to have this person like you, have someone like you. You learn about them and you learn everything about them, or learn nothing. And then at the end, what did you get for yourself? And that's kind of where I have to shift my mentality, and it's gonna be good because I said I was gonna start doing this, but this is probably where it actually begins. So that's gonna be good. It's going to be very good for myself, and I think I would recommend to all of you to do that as well. Really ask yourself, is this person in my life good for me? Are they good for me growing? And I would say 7 out of 10 times they're not, and that's kind of where you need to separate yourself from, not completely, but partially drift away. But yeah. Essentially, moving on is one of the hardest things you can do in life. It's something I struggle with day in and day out. But you take it one day at a time and you move forward. That's kind of where this came from. It's good. It's good that it happened. I can sit here and act like I'm brokenhearted or I'm salty. But you have to learn from it and move on. So essentially, the lesson of that day was, if you want, it is super obvious, but things have to be put out there in words or in a tangible way so you can understand them, or at least that's the way that I work. So it says, if you want to stop starting over, stop giving up. So boom, obvious shit, Freddie. Are you dumb? No, I'm pretty smart, but I am dumb at times. So essentially, everything I've done, I've given up on. And there's so much I could have right now. Not just things like possessions, but just built. I could have had so many things built for myself. And I really missed out on that. But this is where it changes. This is where we move on. This is where we improve. And then this goes into the next topic, which is toying with people's emotions. And that's kind of where communication and self-representation comes out. Because I led someone on during this same exact time thinking, oh, I want this. Oh, it doesn't matter how you feel because you're going to figure it out. And, when you start fucking with people's emotions, that's kind of where you need to question yourself and make sure to check yourself, because that's not something that you want done to you. So it's essentially a message to myself. I'm talking to myself in this damn webcam, but I need to communicate things in a more clear way, in a more straightforward way, and not just go, because that doesn't fucking count as an answer, no matter how much you think it will. And, I did that. And she wanted an answer to why I didn't want to be together. I didn't give her a fucking answer. And I knew why. It's because, my heart belonged to someone else. And I was hurt. And I wasn't even ready for this thing that I wanted. So it was just layer on layer of things. So that was good. So that's going to be my mission from now on, is to essentially stop ignoring people. Stop not relaying messages to people, because you need to communicate these damn things. I ignore people a lot, and it's due to the fact that it's easier to ignore people, but at the same time, you're being a coward. And that's not fair to some people because they need answers. So I'm going to liven it up a little bit, because that was some real shit. I apologize. But there's these kids that come to my store, and I promised them I would give them $1 every week on Monday. And these damn kids have gotten so used to it. But I'm not saying they're not ungrateful. It's very funny to see three different kids. They have three very different dynamic personalities, you know, different characters. And I have a favorite, and I'm going to invest in this kid because he's going into 5th grade. And you know what this kid did? Oh, it was so cool. So basically, he's smart. I know he's smart. These are my 3 little black ghetto kids, like close to my heart. These are the kids I grew up with, basically. And you need opportunities when you're not in a good place. That's all you need, an opportunity. And those kids don't get opportunities. These kids get jail time. These kids get harassed. These kids get nowhere. And then they get put into the system, and it's a vicious cycle. And that's how we need to change things. We need to lend out a hand, because you know where you started, and you know how much it means to have someone do something for you, or to, you know, think that you have something in you. So I see this in this kid. He basically started saving up the money that I was giving him, and he bought a 12 piece of ice cream, and he wanted to sell them. And I was just like, oh my god. I'm gonna say his name because he's a cool kid, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say the other ones. I'm not gonna like sit here and act like, oh, you're unfair for me. No, like fuck that. This kid's gonna go somewhere, and I'm gonna make sure, and I'm gonna help out his friends too later. But you know, I need to help myself out first. But essentially, when this kid gets to 6th grade, middle school, I'm gonna invest in him, and he's gonna start selling chips. He's gonna start selling candy. He's gonna be a freaking mogul. I'm gonna teach this kid how to fight. It's gonna be sick. And it's kind of exciting to not foresee the future, but like kind of play with the future and see what's gonna come out of it. So Amir, a really cool kid. I see a lot of potential. I see fire. I see fire in his eyes. I know this kid has got some passion in him. He will do a lot, and he's got that. I guess it's called the spark. He's got the spark, and you can tell. This is where we go. We only go forward, because if you go back, you're just gonna waste your fucking time. Dude, I can't pay my bills, man. That shit hurts. I think these mean a lot more to some of you than it means to me, even though like that doesn't make sense. I really want to say thank you again, because I don't know what I would look back on. I don't know what I would be able to do without looking back at these. You know, sometimes I don't want to look back at them because I know I say some shit, but it's good. It's good to have. And I guess it is going somewhere, so that's cool. Big things are coming. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next vlog. Hopefully it's not so spaced out, but I always say things, so I'm going to stop saying things. But thank you. Bye.